today we are solving multi-step equations. We're doing mission 2a. This is our multi-step equation process. First we're going to look at distributing, then after that combining like terms, moving the variable to one side of the equal sign if we have x's on like both sides, for example, and then getting rid of adding and subtracting, and then multiplying and dividing. So let's look at our first two questions. What's the first step for these equations? They both have parentheses, so that is our distributive property. So our first step is to distribute. So draw your line down. Whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. But before we do that, we have to distribute. I actually made a mistake here. This should be a 4 and not a 3. So we're taking our 3/4 and multiplying it in our box by n and by 4. So 3/4 times n, we just write 3 times 4, or 3 over 4n. 3/4 times 4, 4 is really 4 over 1. So 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 1 is 4. So 12 divided by 4 is really 3. So this is really just a plus 3. That's how we got that. So we have 3/4 n plus 3 equals 9. So if we continue, subtract 3 on both sides, we get 3/4 n equal to 6. And then this is the tricky part that some people forget about. To undo a fraction, we multiply by the reciprocal, meaning we flip the fraction. So we're going to multiply by 4/3 times 4/3. So that 4 over 4 is 1, 3 over 3 is 1, and they cancel out. Or 4 times 3 is 12 over 12, and it makes 1n or just n. On the other side, we have 6 times 4/3. This is really 6 over 1 if we make it a fraction. 6 times 4 is 24. 1 times 3 is 3. So 24 divided by 3 is really 8. Next one's a little bit easier, not as confusing of a fraction. We're still going to distribute 1/2 times 8x and 1/2 times negative 6. So half of 8 is really just 4x. Or you can do, like we did here, 8 times 1/2 and multiply it out. And half of negative 6, half of 6 is 3, negative 3. So here's our equation, 4x minus 3 equals 5. So to get rid of adding and subtracting first, we're going to add 3 to both sides. This is this bottom step here, we're getting rid of adding and subtracting, then multiplying and dividing. We have 4x equal to 8. And then the opposite of multiply is divide. Divide by 4. And we get x equals 8 divided by 4, which is 2. Let's go on to our next two equations. These ones do not have any parentheses, but we do need to combine our like terms. We have some terms on the same side, like 8x and negative 3x, that we can combine together. So we're going to write combine like terms. So 8 minus 3 is going to give us 5x, and then copy the rest. Now, getting rid of addition and subtraction, we've done that step. We're on to, oopsies, these bottom two now. Getting rid of adding and subtracting, and then multiplying and dividing. So add 10 to both sides, opposite of what we see. Those eliminate, and we have 5x equal to 30. And then the opposite of multiply is divide by 5. So we have x equal to 30 divided by 5, which is 6. Second one like this, we also have like terms, they're just on the right side. Be careful to include the symbol with it. The negative goes with whatever number comes after. Like this negative goes with the 6, not the 8. So if we combine those together, same sign, add and keep, It's a negative 13k. And if we copy the rest, now we have to get rid of adding and subtracting. So I'm going to subtract 8. Those eliminate. 31 minus 8 should give us, what, 23? Is that right? Oh, I made a mistake. These are all negatives. Same sign, add and keep. That's a negative 39 if we add them up. And a negative 13k. So the opposite of multiply is divide by negative 13. And we have k equal to, be careful, two negatives make a positive when you multiply and divide. And you can use a calculator here. 13 goes into 39 3 times. All right, let's flip to the back side. First step in these equations, they both have parentheses, so our first step really is distribute. You can't combine like terms yet because we haven't distributed. So I'm going to draw my box to distribute. This is really a negative 2 outside of the parentheses. We don't need to worry about this negative 6 yet. We're only focusing on the parentheses and what number we're multiplying. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. A negative here times a negative here makes a positive 10. So we have this 6x, and then those we just used to multiply. So inside the box we have negative 2x and a positive 10 equal to 46. Now, after we distribute, we can combine our like terms in the second step. So I'm going to combine 6 minus 2 is 4x. Now, get rid of adding and subtracting. Subtract 10. And we have 4x equal to 36. And our last step, the opposite of multiply, is divide. Divide by 4. And x should give us 9. I did that a little bit quick, but I followed all of the steps right here. We distributed, then combined like terms, then got rid of adding and subtracting, and then multiplying and dividing. Same thing over here. We're going to distribute first. We have positive 4 times x minus 1. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. So we have 9 plus 4x minus 4 equals 25. And we do have some like terms, not with an x, but with just our regular old numbers. 4 minus 9 is 5, and then we have plus 4x equal to 25. To get rid of adding and subtracting, I'm going to subtract 5. 25 minus 5 is 20. And then divide by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. And I know I'm going a little bit quick, but just please make sure to pause the video, go back, whatever you need to do to be successful. Last two questions here are with geometry. It says find the value of x for the triangle or rectangle. So it says perimeter is 28. So we know perimeter is adding up all 4 sides of our shape. If the left or the right side is x plus 1, the other side is also x plus 1. If the bottom is 3x plus 1, the top is 3x plus 1. So if we wanted to, we could write out 3x plus 1 plus the next side, x plus 1 plus the next side, 3x plus 1 plus the last side, x plus 1 equal to 28. That's a lot of work. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it up right from the picture. Oops, I lost my x plus 1 here. So all these x's, that's 1x, that's 1x. So I'm going to add up all the x's first. I have 3x plus 3x is 6. One more here is 7. And one more is 8. So we have 8 x's. This perimeter, remember, is adding up all the sides. And then just our numbers, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. That gives us 4. All equal to a total of 28. Now this is just a two-step equation. subtract. Getting rid of adding and subtracting first. That gives us 24. And then the opposite of multiplying is divide. Divide by 8. 8 times 3 is 24. Same thing with the next one, except there's only 3 sides instead of 4. So if we add up all the sides, 2x plus 8 plus x, or 1x, equal to 23. Combine our like terms. That gives us 3x. Get rid of adding and subtracting. Sorry, I'm just joking here. 23 minus 8 should give us 15. And then our last step is to just divide by 3. 15 divided by 3 should give us 5.